Hello, this is a devlog that's going to be talking about all the different menu assets and UI elements that I've created for Peripheral Error so far. Starting off, I created an individual scene for the main menu, which just kind of lets me easily transition between scenes to move from the game to the main menu easily. And it stops me having to clutter the canvas too much with deactivated menu assets. Uh, Essentially, the main way that I've tried to make this UI functional is by creating a single UI manager script, this script, which creates methods that gives each of the buttons functionality, and then each of these methods can be assigned to the buttons using Unity's built-in button component, which can trigger methods on click by interacting with the UI manager script. Currently, we're using placeholders, but there's been discussions had about what UI assets may look like, particularly the game over and the game win screen. I believe a game over animation has been discussed, so that just needs to be moved into production, and then these placeholders can get replaced. To inform myself about creating these UI elements, I've mainly used the microgame project as a point of reference, as I did a lot of UI work for that. Um, Here's the main menu for that game, but I've tried to make it more efficient, more clean, and uh, more robust because there was quite a lot of mess in the microgames UI element code. The main demonstratable way is the fact that for the game over trigger um, script, game over script, game over trigger script, sorry, in peripheral error has no public variables needed, as if you look in the code on the lose script, it uses entirely private variables, which kind of declutters it, and then just uses the find and get component pieces of API to kind of assign it itself and make it entirely self-contained. However, the Scrap Shark code for game over uses a ton of public variables, which is just less efficient and breaks far easier, I found, across the microgame project. So I decided to adapt it to work entirely privately, which should be a lot easier. That's the main work that I've done for now. But once those assets are made, I'll be introducing them. I can demonstrate how the game over and game win works because I created two placeholder triggers, these red and green cubes, red obviously being the lose, which shows and demonstrates all the buttons. The restart button works perfectly fine. Instead of disabling the player and objects in the scene, I instead learned how to just enable the cursor because I was having trouble with it. But then I found that there is a kind of invisible thing called cursor lock mode, which makes it so the cursor is invisible no matter what you do with the cursor visibility command here. But once I figured that out, it was fairly easy. And by just specifically disabling the first person movement script, it makes it so that the player can't interact with the scene anyways. In future, I'm going to have to find a way to disable the main enemy of the game uh, once you hit one of these menus, but that should be fairly easy. And that's all I have to show you for now. I'll create another one of these devlogs in the future when I have more work to do. Okay, bye.